Hi, I hope everyone is having a great day today. It's another gorgeous day here in Rhode Island. Well, I think the last video I did, it was not so gorgeous. It started to rain while I was talking to you guys. But today is, I don't know, about 85-ish. We are in the middle of September and fall is definitely in the air. And it's change of season. So with a change of season comes a change of mindset all the time. No matter what it is, there's always a change of mindset when we go into fall or winter, spring, summer. It's just we feel like we need to change something in our lives. I don't know what it is, if it's the atmosphere, the moon, whatever, but I am always in a constant sense, I feel, of changing. And there are three things I wanted to talk to you guys about today, of things that I do not do over the age of 50 anymore. And currently I am 57 years old. This video will live on for however long YouTube lives on for. So I've been in my 50s for a while, and my life has definitely changed and evolved, like I'm sure all of yours has. So the three things that I no longer do involves the first one being getting angry. And I know that's so strange, right? It seems so simple, yet it is something I used to do all the time. All the time. I would get angry loudly. I mean, we're talking years ago. In my teenage years, late teenage years, early adulthood years, I think the reason why I was an angry individual at that stage of my life, and Dad, I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming the situation. My father was very young when he passed away. He was only 55 years old. And literally my parents had paid off their mortgage six months prior to him passing away. He had lung cancer. The time from when we found out he had lung cancer until the day he passed away was approximately 7 months. I think I had just turned, I was 18 when we found out, and then I was 19. I turned 19 just after he had passed away. Man, I was angry. I was absolutely angry. I was pissed off at the situation. I was sad for my mom. I was sad for me. I was being selfish. The fact that my dad wasn't going to be around any longer was not something I had ever anticipated being in the cards. Sorry, I had to move the phone because the sun was starting to get in my eyes, and not fun when you're trying to talk. You lose focus. Anywho, I was an angry person. I lashed out at everybody. When anyone would ask me about my dad and tell me they were sorry about my dad, I didn't even want to talk about him. I literally didn't talk about my dad after he passed for about 2 years. I was in a very sensitive age in life and stage in life, and when I tell you, it was not good. It was not good. I did get through it, of course. I feel like one day I just woke up and said, "Stop this." And I did. I can't explain it. I don't know how it happened, but I became a nice person again. And I was able to slowly start talking about my dad and start talking about his memory and what happened and all of it. But it was a process, and I think everything in life is a total process. Now, the reason why I bring up getting angry is because a couple of things have happened in the past couple of weeks to me that, boy, old me would have really thrown down. I would have gotten so mad. For instance, my daughter's ex-boyfriend moved back to Rhode Island, and we actually saw him. It just wasn't a good situation. We saw him a couple of days after he got back, and I was mad because I wanted to defend my daughter. However, my husband's like, chill out. I was texting my daughter because she doesn't live in Rhode Island any longer, and she's like, just calm down. just it's fine, just calm down. So I did, and I'm proud of myself that I didn't go crazy, because again, it was just in protection of my daughter. So that's one thing. The sun is moving so fast. What the heck? But anyway, so that was one situation. The next situation happened yesterday, as a matter of fact. Now, I am a yard sailor. You guys have known that. I talk about that often. I used to be a large, not large to me, it was large to me, reseller on eBay. It was a great part-time gig. It's not really working as well as it used to for me anymore. So I've really cut back on that. However, I have an addiction to jewelry, really nice jewelry. And I've been buying jewelry at yard sales for years and years and years. I'm not going to stop that because it doesn't take up a lot of room. And man, you can find some cute stuff. And I have to show you just two of the pieces I found yesterday in this humongous lot that I purchased. Before I show you the pieces, what happened was we went to this yard sale. It was an unadvertised sale. We just saw the signs. We drove over there. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I said to the lady, hey, do you have any jewelry? She goes, oh my gosh, I have so much. It was my husband's mother's. Now that is my jam. I like old costume jewelry because, first of all, when you hear the saying, they just don't make things like they used to. Well, that is jewelry as well, I feel. If you get a great quality piece of jewelry today, you're going to pay. But the jewelry they made decades ago, we're talking 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. I mean, really, it kind of gets a little cheesy in the 80s, but it's fine. The quality is just amazing. So I gathered all of my things together that I wanted to buy, and I wasn't dealing with the woman who had the jewelry. I was dealing with her daughter. She was doing the pricing. And when I tell you, so she gives me a price, and I'm like, well, all right, I don't have that much cash on me. I'm like $50 short. Can I write you a check? No. And when I tell you that's exactly how it went down, that's exactly how it went down. No, I don't know you from Adam. Now, mind you, I've written checks at yard sales before. I guess I've been lucky. I have my license, name on my check. I live in town. I said, I have lived in town 25 years. You can also, today, you can take a picture of a check and it automatically gets deposited into the person's account, or you can use, Zelle, whatever. She's like, I work in insurance fraud. Absolutely not. And I was just insulted by that because you're basically saying I would fraud you. Now, I live here in town. I live here. Lived here for a long time. And I said, I'm not that person. She goes, but I don't know you. But it was just the attitude and the way she was speaking to me. And I'm like, well, can you at least knock a few bucks off? That's what you do at a yard sale. I mean, that's just my nature. That's what you do. If you guys, any of you go to yard sales, you negotiate. That's what you do. And I was buying a lot. I was spending a good amount of money. No. Take it or leave it. I'm not kidding. My friend was there with me. That's exactly how I was spoken to. So I took some things out of my pile. I paid her. And I just left there with the attitude of, why was I spoken to that way? Why would someone feel that it's necessary to speak to another person that way, especially woman to woman, even if it was man to man? Like, why do you feel a need to have that type of an attitude? And I was just, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. I was just really, it threw me off for the entire day. And again, the old me would have said, well, take your effing stuff, take your effing jewelry and shove it up your you-know-where. But I didn't. Did I feel like saying that? Absolutely. I sure did. I just took a breath because the jewelry was gorgeous. Hold, please. This is unbelievable. I can't believe I have to keep moving. Is this the last time I'm moving? I sure hope so. I really do. Sorry about that. So let me just show you two of the pieces I got yesterday, and you'll see why I just said, no, just chill your roll, slow your roll, and just calm down. So this bracelet, can you just stand it? Look at the detail on this chunky bracelet. And I could just slip it on. Look, how do you not love that? I mean, I am all about turquoise, these big pieces, and honestly, these are things I dream about. I'm not kidding. These humongous sterling silver old pieces that you are not going to find this today. And if you do, you're gonna pay. And look at, this is so old that it actually has a little pin. I don't even know if you can see it. But you have to pull out the pin in order to open it. Look at, is that not crazy? Oh my gosh, I can't. And then you put it back. I hope you can see this. And then you slide it into place, and that's how it closes. Gorgeous. And one of the other pieces I got, again, I got a lot, but I'm only showing you two because there's just too many. But, all right, so here's the chain. Beautiful chain. I'm assuming it's silver, but I don't know. But I know that this piece is sterling silver. I mean, come on. And it's marked on the back. It's a stone. I think it's an agate, they call it. But so you can tell how large it is. Look at that. Gorgeous. I'm figuring I maybe paid, sorry, look at that detail at the top. All sterling silver. I'm figuring my cost of each piece was about $2. I got a lot. So I have to take a little drinky. That's why I do it. And I will wear a lot of the pieces. If I wear them once, if I resell them later on, I just enjoy this because, again, you're never going to find this stuff out in a store. And if you do, it's going to be a store that sells vintage jewelry, and you're going to pay dearly for it. So that's part of the reason I do what I do. So getting angry is number one. And another thing we've been talking about here on this channel is clearing out. Getting rid of things. Sorry, my nose gets itchy. For those of you who have been following me on my other channel, I have an itchy nose. I don't know what it means. Does it mean I'm coming into money? Well, that hasn't happened yet. So, not getting attached to things. That's number two. I used to be attached to everything in my life. And an example of being attached to something, and some of you may say, well, why are you doing this? But I kind of have to. I just have to. I have been not hauling, but storing, and I have been hauling it because I've had it for many, many years. My parents' china that they got when they were married, 1954, I believe was the year they got married. This china was a wedding gift. That was a wedding gift for basically everybody on the planet. You got china. You gave a setting, you gave a setting. This is what people did. And even my best friend Michelle, she got china for her wedding too. That's what you did. I, however, did not get place settings for my wedding. So I've had my parents' china for years and years and years. And for years, I did use it. My mom would come over for the holiday, whatever holiday it was, I would put out the china, I would wash it by hand, I would put it away, and put it back into storage. I haven't used the china in years. And some of the pieces in turn have gotten broken because of how they were stored. I mean, we just have stuff. We have too much stuff. We're working on it, okay? We're working on it. So I finally decided, I talked to my brother about it, and he goes, well, why don't you just use it? There's a lot of it. I'm not going to use a gravy boat. What am I going to do with that? I'm just not. I put our gravy in a Pyrex glass measuring cup. And the amounts of dishes and coffee cups and saucers, I said, you know what? I'm just going to put it on Facebook Marketplace. My brother said, just like basically give it away and somebody will take it, resell it, enjoy it, whatever. And I did look into possibly reselling it on, there's a site called replacements.com. There's not a desire for this particular pattern. It's Noritake. It's beautiful. It's got silver, a little bit of green, and the detail. It's really, really pretty. But do I keep storing it and risk breaking more pieces? I do have it in bins now. Or do I let someone else enjoy the china? Well, I went with let's let someone else take it for basically nothing, pennies on the dollar, and let them enjoy it or do what they're going to do with it. I'm just not going to use china. I'm just not. You can't put it in the dishwasher. You have to hand wash it, which I hand wash a lot of things anyway, but we're too clumsy. We're gonna break it all, and then I would feel bad. So I figured I would keep one place setting for myself as a memento, and I put the rest on Facebook Marketplace. Well, a friend of mine, my dear friend, Michelle's sister actually, she loves vintage things. And when I'm not kidding you, this morning she put in a group text how she went to a yard sale yesterday. She hasn't been to many recently. And she bought 2 vintage coats. And I'm participating in the text and I'm like, why don't I just give it to Paula? And when I tell you, I call her Mother Teresa. That's my nickname for her because she helps everybody. She does so much stuff for people. She's my friends are really good people. She's an exceptionally really good person. I mean, don't get me wrong. Michelle and Paula, they're sisters. They are just great people. They will do whatever they could for anybody. Paula, however, is in the caregiving business and she's constantly giving back to someone. So I know that she likes vintage place settings, glasses, things like that. So I said, on the side, I sent her a separate text. I said, do you want this china of my parents? I sent her a couple of pictures. She said, yeah, you guys don't want it? I said, no, we're happy to get it to someone who would appreciate it. She's so excited. So I've been attached to this china for decades. No word of a lie. I didn't want to get rid of it. I didn't want to part with it. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? It's going to a great home. It's going to get used, and it's going to be loved, and it's going to be appreciated. So that's where the not getting attached to things comes into play. And I'm really not attached to much anymore. My jewelry, a little bit of a different story. However, pieces, I will go through a lot of pieces, things I haven't used in a long time. They go in the yard sale, and it's fine. It's all good. So that's bullet point number 2. Not getting entirely attached to everything in my life, except for people. I'm attached to people. But the things, not so much anymore. And I'll tell you, that's a massive change for me. And the third thing of something I have done after I turned 50 is to stop spending a lot of money. There are so many YouTube channels about saving money, being frugal, all of it. I just don't spend a lot of money anymore. And guess what? I'm okay. I'm still here. It's fine. We're still, thankfully, thank you God, in our home. We're still able to smile, be happy, enjoy ourselves. But when I tell you, I was at TJ Maxx every weekend. I was just at the mall. Who goes to the mall anymore? I don't go to the mall anymore. And people do go to the mall. We have Warwick Mall near our home in Rhode Island. It's still busy. People still go. I mean, there's a lot of abandoned malls across the United States. But I gotta tell you, when I drive by Warwick Mall, it's still pretty busy. But boy, have I learned to rein back, not only because I have to, but because it's not necessary. I just don't need to. I don't need to spend all kinds of money on nothing. I will watch, I do love TikTok. I'm not going to lie. I am a TikTokaholic sometimes, not all the time, because it is a time sucker. That's for sure. But I do watch these people. Oh, I just bought this on TikTok Shop. Oh, I just bought this on whatever. So I saw so-and-so using it, so I bought it. I get it. Like, there are things in our lives that are useful, you know, like cleaners. I found out about Barkeeper's Friend on TikTok, and I got to tell you, best stuff on the planet. The stainless steel stove in my kitchen was a disaster. I used Barkeeper's Friend. I actually should have done a video on that, but it cleaned it right up. I don't know what's in that stuff, but it is really good. And by the way, Market Basket has the soft Barkeeper's Friend cleaner right now for $2.99. It's not even on sale. It's just, that's the regular price. Great deal. Anyway, this is not sponsored. Just helping a friend out. And also the mukbangs on TikTok. If you're not familiar with what a mukbang is, people literally sit there. They'll go to Crumble. That's a big one. Buy all kinds of donuts, sit there, eat them for you so you can hear them eating. And people are into this whole thing. And I went to Crumble a few weeks ago and brought a few donuts to my son and his wife. And I don't know, I think 6 donuts were over $20. It was ridiculous. I mean, the cost of the food there is insane. People are buying a dozen of Crumble cookies, donuts, whatever the heck they're selling at the time, and just eating them for the camera. Granted, they get millions of views by doing this. And I'm sure they get their money back a millionfold by doing that. But it's just, I don't know. And I do watch these things, but I just think about, first of all, what a waste of money, waste of time, and a waste of your waistline. Let's think about that for a second. If I even thought about 2 of those cookies, I would gain 5 pounds instantly without eating them. Because when you're over 50 and you're a woman, that's what happens. I am so shaded out again. I can't. I'm so sorry. I really am. I don't know. Should I just come over here and just stand? I think so. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to stand up now. I'm just standing, which is good for my back. I have a messed up back, messed up hip, messed up knee. So I can't sit for a long period of time anyway. And that's the third thing, just not spending a lot of money. I reserve our cash for our weekly shopping, which I basically cook at home. We go out to eat occasionally. We haven't been out to eat in a little bit. And honestly, we did go Labor Day weekend, and we were trying to find a little restaurant to go to in Connecticut because we went to the Woodstock Fair. And the restaurant we went to was okay, but I'm like, dang, I like my home cooking better. It's just so much better. You know who's touching your food, and it costs a lot less, and you always have leftovers, usually. So the money thing, man, how things change when we get in our 50s, right? Soon to be 60s for me, and maybe you too. So just these transitions in life, and I feel like it's so weird how I get into these modes of change with the change of the seasons. Like I said, we're just ready to get into fall, and I'm in my nesting mode. I go in these nesting modes every season. I went in a heavy nesting mode before our granddaughter was born. And it's just continuing to roll, which is a positive thing. I think, paring down the stuff that you have, looking at your money situation, because you know what? We can get by on a lot less. It's okay. We will survive. It's fine. You don't need to go and buy all kinds of stuff all the time to make you feel good. And I might be saying that because I go to yard sales every weekend, so I am always buying stuff. I always buy something. However, if I'm buying a shirt for $1 or $2 that I'm going to wear, to me, that's just useful. I'm not buying stuff to just throw it away. I'm buying it to use it and giving it another life before it either goes in the landfill or in the dumpster or to Goodwill or Salvation Army or whatever thrift shop. So yeah, there you go. 3 things that I no longer do in my 50s, and it's okay. I'm fine. And I hope you're fine too. I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing night, an amazing weekend, or whenever you're watching this. Go ahead and download our free app to our radio station at kiki.fm. We play the greatest classic hits and classic rock anywhere. My husband put that all together. It's really cool. And also subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I'm going to start doing some lives with meal prepping. I've started doing that again. I hadn't done that in a while, but I'm going to get back into that again. It's fantastic. It's just an awesome thing to do, and it makes life so much easier. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, follow me on my other channel for music and entertainment news at Kiki Classic Rock, and I think you guys are amazing. And we got this. We got this. It's all good, man. We just we're here to make the life of ours into the life of ours. It's all up to us. No one else can change it or make it better. It's up to us. And that's what we're all here together to do, is just make it fun and make it good and make it positive. So I love you guys, and I will see you soon.